Remember on the 6th of July when General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi dropped a bombshell that shook the nation? No one expected someone in his position to speak so openly without fear, but he did, and it brought receipts. One of the biggest revelations was the existence of a powerful cartel operating in Gauteng and the rest of the country. This is not just a street gang, and according to the general, the syndicate is involved in selling substances, high-profile hits, and shady tender deals worth hundreds of millions. Mkhwanazi claims that the cartel is not just made up of criminals. There's celebrities, politicians, judges, and business moguls. They are all allegedly in on it, and at the center of this dark empire is a man named Vusi Cat Matlala, the alleged mastermind behind the whole chaos. The hits of Armand Swart cracked the web of assassination plots around Gauteng. Swart wasn't even the target. The hit that ended his life was meant for his colleague. They both worked for an engineering company that produced parts for Transnet. But there's a twist. Transnet was being supplied by a middleman who managed to mark up prices to an insane level. When someone inside the company tried to blow the whistle, the cartel acted, but they took out the wrong person. Ballistic reports from Swart's hits matched weapons used in other major hits in Gauteng, including the assassination of Babita Deokara. Mkhwanazi added that these same guns were linked to other big artists who were laid down in Gauteng. According to a gossip blogger, Musa Kawula, one of those artists is DJ Somebody. Somebody was involved in the cartel substance business and possibly laundering money through his nightclubs. Some people even hinted at the fact that we should look closely at Somebody's flashy industry friends because some of them may be parts of the dirty game. Remember, Mkhwanazi said artists, which means there's more than one. And any other artists who were recently shot down are these guys from Pretoria, Peter Mashata and Vusima R5, a pioneer of the Bacardi sound who was taken out in Soshanguve, the same place as Peter Mashata. Whether these hits are linked to the cartel or not, it is unclear. When police raided Mamkize's house, what they found shocked everyone. There were over 40 firearms hidden in her house. But here's where things got really strange. The firearms did not belong to her. Instead, they were registered to Vusi Cat Matlala's private security company. But the main question is why they were kept at Mamkize's house. According to South African law, you are not allowed to store firearms at an unregistered address. Doing so can lead to your arrest as it is a serious offense. But in this case, Vusi got all his weapons back just like that. No charges and no explanations. If you remember, Mamkize herself was once suspected of being involved in an attempted hit on a SARS official who was reportedly digging into her financial affairs. Investigators later discovered that the hitman was flew in from Cape Town to do the job, which makes me wonder whether Mamkize is also part of the cartel. Vusi's wife caused a stir on social media when she posted a video on Instagram showing herself and her children riding in a government blue light convoy on their way to school. She was flaunting the VIP lifestyle, bragging online, acting untouchable. But what she didn't realize was that she had exposed a crack on a much bigger scandal, a glimpse into how deep their connection ran. When law enforcement in Ekurhuleni was questioned about the woman who was using a blue lights convoy, it was reported that the vehicles belonged to Vusi's private security company. But when it was checked on the system, they found that the vehicles belonged to the state. Vusi's downfall was basically his own doing. He kept too much evidence on his phone, including voice notes, documents, pictures, and a lot more. Insiders believed that this was done as leverage in case his high-powered allies ever tried to turn on him or throw him under the bus. This was his backup plan or his weapon of blackmail. When he was arrested for plotting the hit of his ex-girlfriend Tebogo Tobejane, the police got hold on the phone. Tebogo Tobejane is a well-known actress who was nearly assassinated, and reports suggest that Vusi and his wife plotted the hit together, and it wasn't only meant for her but to send a message. The plan was to disfigure her face so badly that an open casket would be impossible, and the motive is still unclear, but some believe that Tobejane knew too much long before the cartel stories were broken down. In October 2023, Tobejane was in the car with her friends when gunmen opened fire on their vehicle. They survived, but one of her friends was seriously injured. The allegations by Musa Kaula was that Vusi Cat Matlala was linked to Vusi Keke, a feared extortionist, taxi boss, and a criminal mastermind who was arrested for orchestrating the hit of a billionaire entrepreneur Wandile Bozwana. According to Musa Kaula, Matlala is believed to be one of the key figures behind Pretoria-based gang Boko Haram, a group accused of spreading fear and chaos across Tshwane. Through his private security company, Vusi has access to high-caliber firearms, all under the cover of a legitimate business. Vusi's criminal journey didn't start with big contracts. In 2001, he was arrested for housebreaking, but things escalated quickly soon after he began swimming in tender deals. Many of them were accused of being bogus, fraudulent, and parts of the corrupt scheme involving government officials. According to reports, Vusi is part of a large tender mafia that generates billions from the country using fraudulent contracts, and if anyone dares to interfere, they get taken out. Vusi and his associates have been investigated at PRASA, a state rally agency where hundreds of millions were looted. The paper trail is long and the rot runs deep. Now we understand how Vusi Cat Matlala managed to walk away from so many serious charges over the years. According to Mkwanazi, Vusi wasn't just lucky. He was funding powerful politicians and buying protection from the very same people meant to uphold the law. And the cartel he runs is filled with high-profile individuals deeply connected to government officials and business people, including the police. But the real question is whether Vusi is truly the kingpin or just a middleman used as a sacrificial lamb set to take the fall, while the real bosses stay hidden behind layers of power protected by the system. For now, Vusi continues to sit behind bars and the charges are far from being dropped. My name is Jay and this is Moment in Future, pulling you into the truth.